In this video, we turned ourselves into a boss fight using a mix of films and video games. For this 4-part mini-series, I teamed up with Jonas Tryoller. We made a board game, turned ourselves into a boss fight, used barcode scanners as an input device, and went into the forest to make a game with nothing but sticks and stones. 2 of these videos will appear here on my channel, while the other 2 will appear on Jonas's channel, so make sure to subscribe to both. So, the theme we set ourselves this time around was interactive movie. What immediately came to mind was to create a choose-your-own-adventure style experience. We would perhaps film many tiny clips, and at the end of each clip ask the player what he would like to do next. For example, shake hands or throw a nasty punch. The choices you make would drastically change the story and of course ending. However, with only a day to make this happen, we realized we would never be able to match the quality of already existing projects. On top of that, we wondered if there were perhaps other ways we could interpret this interactive movie challenge. And of course, there was. How about a game where we turn ourselves into a boss fight? Try and meld a game character with the real world.
So I would say, first of all, it's just me on the computer. Then you escape. I close the laptop, kind of call you, and then you come. I just need to plan exactly the attacks that we're doing. But it was well telegraphed. It can almost be quite fast.
Yeah.
Because the player should know where it's going to land.
It just needs to be well telegraphed in some way.
Good morning, everybody. Today, we're creating a new challenge.
We are turning ourselves into bosses.
We're going to film a 1-minute video where we're sort of doing telegraphed attacks and so on, and the little character's going to have to dodge those attacks. So it's going to be a mix of video editing and video game development. What is the story that we're making in this 1 minute?
I wanted to go for this animator versus animation vibe, so a little player character escapes the laptop and then we try to catch it and the player gets to dodge our attack. The most complicated thing will be matching the colliders to the attack.
It was then time to record our first attempt. With only a vague idea of how we wanted things to play out, we set up our cameras and just began acting. As you can see, the story is quite straightforward. I'm doing some peaceful game dev when suddenly a little game character comes bursting out from my laptop. Jonas and I then try to squash this tiny and scary little creature. We quickly stumbled upon a couple challenges, however. First of all, acting is tough. Should we fully embrace the cringe and pretend to be goofy boss characters? Or should we act more like ourselves? Being more realistic sounds better. However, if we're trying to be normal, would we really just be sitting around trying to punch a character that has burst out from that laptop? We would probably run for it, or at the very least keep a careful distance, which wouldn't fit the boss fight theme.
It's tricky. We definitely didn't choose the easiest thing to make today.
We don't know how to act.
We don't know what we're supposed to act like. Are we supposed to act completely crazy, normal?
After almost an entire morning of filming and failed attempts, we figured it was time to stop being perfectionist and just get something done, so we could move on with the rest of the challenge. We ended up going for this casual clip.
What the hell? Jonas! Look at that!
Oh, that's kind of interesting. I think we should kill it. It doesn't quite look right.
Yeah,
It looks funny.
let's go.
Yeah. I'll use my lot spare moves.
In it, we don't take ourselves too seriously. We have some genuine laughs, and we play a little silly while throwing some funny attacks. It's a tiny comedy. With our video created and almost half the day gone, Jonas and I split tasks. He would focus on editing the video, adding juicy sound effects and cool, action-packed music, while I would begin setting up the simple gameplay. The player would control a little platformer character who could double jump. His goal, survive the entire video, where Jonas and I throw all kinds of wild attacks. I began with a blank Unity project, creating the tiny character and adding some juice to the jump. By the way, Unity were cool enough to sponsor this experiment. Without good old Unity here, so many of our creative ideas wouldn't have come to life. For example, being able to play an MP4 video in-game was made possible thanks to the awesome video player component. You can simply drag and drop the video inside this empty slot in the inspector, and when you press play, the video will run. Quick and simple. But that was the super easy part. Jonas sent me an unfinished version of the video we had filmed. I needed to turn every single one of our moves into dangerous attacks that needed to be dodged. Our simple solution: animate a bunch of box colliders that would match up with our punches and headbutts. Every single one. In some video games like Dark Souls or Cuphead, bosses telegraph attacks. This is when they slowly raise their giant battle axe, for example, a clear warning sign that some massive, devastating move is about to be launched, leaving the player some time to react and get out of the way. While editing the video, Jonas quickly realized that we hardly telegraph our attacks, which would make dodging and predicting moves a real nightmare for the player. To fix this, he added little red lines that tell the player where an enemy is about to launch an attack. So after a couple seconds, all I need to do is place a correctly sized box collider. This became both tedious and really challenging when there's dozens and dozens and dozens of attacks. Just look at this bit, where we literally throw 20 attacks in the space of 5 seconds. Relieved that was done, I added some sound effects to the game, such as player jump, land, and death. In the meantime, Jonas added some real life to the video, replacing this
Funny.
Skill.
Yeah.
with this.
It looks funny.
Skill.
Yeah.
After yet another hard day of work, we had completed this mini boss fight experiment. We definitely got out of our comfort zone here. I could imagine perhaps an entire boss rush style game that mixes acting with digital characters and effects.
You know, we'll have to keep playing till we make it to the end, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Level 2.
Oh man, this is a hard one.
Like being in front of Jonas is more dangerous.
It's true. Jonas is a dangerous boss.
Oh.
Careful though, I do a lot of these attacks.
Oh!
How could you die?
It's your
Okay,
turn.
my turn.
Okay.
No! No!
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
God it's not air as well.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yes!
I made it, yeah.
That's still there, dude.
Whoa.
It's
Yeah.
still alive.
Oh yeah! That was awesome. That was awesome. A high five. Thanks so much for watching. You can try and beat me and Jonas as boss fight characters using the link in the description to the little game that you can play. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to Blackthornprod and the Jonas Tryoller YouTube channel. We'll be posting a lot more game creation videos. So remember to subscribe to the channels, yeah.